Yo, what's up everybody, how's it going? I know you all like the Dota 2 bot modes, and I think they're a lot of fun as well. And I wanted to show you how to make one. So that's what we're doing today. Now, the first thing we do is we actually close Dota. Yeah, no, we don't start in Dota. Then, the second thing we do, we go into the Steam library, right? So this is your Steam library, go in here. Then you've got your Dota, you go into Properties, and then it should open up a little window like this. And then it should give you DLC. And then you can download the Dota 2 Workshop Tools DLC. That's what you need. If you want to make custom games for Dota 2, you need this. Without this, you can't make it. Right? So that's the first thing we do. We download that. Now, after we have downloaded that, which I already have, so we're not going to wait for that, of course. You click in here, and then it will give you this option, right? It will give you the option to either play Dota 2 or launch the Dota 2 tools. We want to launch the Dota 2 tools. And then after we launch the Dota 2 tools, it will give you a little window that looks something like this, right? It will look like that. And then in here, what we're going to do is we are going to create an empty add-on. You can create an add-on from an existing add-on if you want, but we're going to go out and just create an empty one because that's nice and easy. So we go in here, we create an empty add-on. What do we call it? We call it like... Dota 2, Dota but, what are we trying to make? TPs have global range. And we can probably put some of these in here to make this a little bit easier to read. There we go. And then we create this. Boom, there it is. So we can now start this. We launch it. And then what's going to happen is it's going to launch an instance of Dota 2. Which is going to be windowed. It's currently loading. I'll show you everything once it's finished loading. There we go, right? So it will give you a bunch of options, a bunch of things. This is the first one. And then the second one is a smaller windowed version of Dota 2, which if I go ahead and close the screen cap, it looks like that, right? So I'm not going to pull this over to the other screen. I'm just going to leave that there. Anyway, so this right here, what we have here, is the asset browser. Now we actually don't need this. What we do need is Hammer. So we're going to open Hammer, which is this thing right here. So then we are now in Hammer, right? So why do we need Hammer? We need Hammer because we need to actually load a map. That's the first thing we have to do. We gotta open the regular Dota map. So we're going to go ahead and do exactly that. Now, the easiest way to do this is you just go into your Steam library. Let me go ahead and just 1 second. Where do I have it? There you go. Right. So this should look something like this. Yeah. Right. So you've got your Steam library. Then you go into Steam apps. You've got Common. Then you have your Dota 2 beta, which yes, it's still called the Dota 2 beta. 10 years into this, it's still called the Dota 2 beta. And then you have content and game. Now, I think you go into content and then you go into maps. No, that seems to be the wrong one. Do you go into game? Dota? No, it is content. You go content, Dota. There we go. You go into content, Dota, and then you go into Dota VMap. Now you should have an idea where your thing is, right? And now we want to find this in our Hammer and open it from here. Right, so we go into Common, Dota 2 Beta, Content, Dota, Maps. And then we open the Dota VMap. And this is going to take a second. It's just going to take a second. Like, we just gotta load it up. My computer is really quick, so yours is probably going to be a lot slower than that. There's nothing we can do about it. Anyway, and then we have the Dota map, which should look a little bit like this. And if we zoom out, it should look like blue. And then we can go ahead and disable draw fog, and then it looks like that. Don't worry if the corners look a little bit weird. That's fine. That won't do anything. Like, I had the same issue as well. It's fine. But this is the Dota map. If you want to change anything about the Dota map, you can actually do it here in Hammer. It's really easy. And then you want to go in and you want to save this. And you want to save this in here. Right? You want to save this in content, Dota add-ons, Dota but TPs have global range, which is your game that you made, maps. But if you just click save as, it will automatically put it in there. And then we just save it in here. Cool. It's saved. There it is. All right. It's actually it. Now we have our map. That's the first thing we have to do. right? And that's actually the trickiest part. This was the most difficult part of creating a simple Dota 2 bot mode. Now, we have to do something. We do have to go in here in this little, we need to push this button right here. This one, and then it opens up the build map interface. And down here, we want to click create map on load, create minimap on load, right? And then we want to build this. And I think it should be fine if we just run it. So if we just run it, then you will now see that in our little instance of Dota, it's loading, right? And it's currently loading up the game. So, there we are. We are in a match. We can go ahead and just ready it up. And then we can select the hero, right? So whatever, let's select Medusa. And we go in game. And here we are. It's in the game. We have the minimap, which is the important thing, right? That's actually that's just what we need to do right there. We need to load up the minimap. And yeah, it's just normal Dota right now, right? This is just normal Dota. There's nothing different about this. There's nothing special about it. But we wanted to make it special. So let's go ahead and make it special, right? How do we do that? Well, the first thing we want to do is we want to go into our Dota folder again, right? So we have we've got our Dota folder here. We go into Dota add-ons. And then we have Dota, but TPs have global range. Now, I'm currently in the wrong folder, actually. So it's a little bit tricky. So we go into Dota 2 beta. You have two folders here that are important. There's content and then there's game, right? Now, in content, that is where we put in the map, right? So in Dota add-ons, Dota, but TPs have global range. You can see there's now Dota.vmap. And you can actually delete this template map. You don't need it. You can actually just delete it. Now, the other one we need is the game folder. In the game folder, we want to yet again go into Dota add-ons, and then you will see there's also Dota, but TPs have global range. And then we click in here as well. And then in here, there will be a scripts folder, and then we go into the scripts folder, and there will be an NPC folder. And in the NPC folder, we have finally found what we are looking for. So there's 4 things here: NPC abilities custom, NPC heroes custom, NPC items custom, and NPC units custom. So if we go into NPC heroes custom, it will open up a little file like this. Now this is an example, right? So they made a little example here and they say, okay, here's Templar Assassin, and we are overwriting Templar Assassin. We are overwriting ability 1 with a different ability, right? And we are giving her increased night vision. You can actually just change these values. So if we want to have our Phantom Assassin have like 90,000 night vision, all we have to do is actually just save that. Then we go into our normal match of Dota, load up the Phantom Assassin, which we can very easily do by just clicking in here. We click run again, right? Then we could load up our Phantom Assassin. And can anybody look up the command in cheats really quick that changes it from day to night? I don't remember that one. But we can just go in here now, and we've got our Templar Assassin, was it, right? We select our Templar Assassin, we skip ahead.
Templar Assassin.
Right, it's Templar Assassin. Yeah, it's Templar Assassin. Sorry, I said Phantom Assassin. But yeah, you can see she's got a different ability here, right? That's kind of like one of the things. And then if we make it, how do I make it night vision again? Chat is not coming through on this one. Well, I'll show you once it turns night, right? But then you guys will be able to see. Now, oh, there we go. Dota day-night cycle toggle. Thank you very much. So if we now go in here, we do Dota day-night cycle. Oh, that didn't work. I don't think you can. All right, then I am just going to do it like this. Night Stalker. Right, create hero. 8 hero Stalker. There we go. Level bots. 25. Adapt. Improvise. Overcome. There we go. And you can see that our Phantom Assassin with what the fuck mode, item dagger, oh, item blink. There we go. You can see that she has a little bit of vision range. Just a little bit. Yeah. Right, so she can see pretty far. She can pretty see infinitely as long as her vision doesn't get broken, which it does get eventually. And now it turns off and we're back to day vision. Right, so we have now successfully modified our Phantom Assassin to have different vision range. And that's all this is. Like, it's actually genuinely that simple. So, what you're going to need is, and this is actually just gonna sound a little bit shitty, but this is where it's really convenient to have OAA installed. Did I call it Phantom Assassin again? I'm sorry. It's really convenient to have OAA installed because if you have OAA installed, you just go into your scripts folder and then you go into your kvlib folder and then you go to the kvlib file and you open it with Sublime, and then you have this, and that will provide you with a bunch of links. Most importantly, the Dota abilities one, the Dota items one, Dota heroes one. Right? Those are the ones we're looking for. So if we want to, for example, go and we want to change TPs, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take this link, and I think I'm going to link those links in the description of this video. If I don't do that, please shout at me and remind me to link these, okay? But we open up this link, and what this link will give us is it will give us something that looks like this, which I know doesn't look particularly appealing, but this is what we're actually looking for. So what is this? This is the KV files for all of the items in the game. So we've got our Blink Dagger right here, and we have all of its stats. So we have its cast range, we have its ability cast point, we have its cooldown, right? We have its items cost, we have its blink range, we have blades of attack, we have chainmail. All of these items are here, and if we want to search for TP, so we just give go into Control F, right, and we search for TP. Oh, well, maybe that's yeah, there it is, TP scroll. Right, so we've got our teleport scroll. Now we want to overwrite teleport scroll. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this, right? We're going to take this, and we're going to copy it. Then we go back into our folder right here, NPC items custom. Open this one up and copy this in here. So now we have our teleport scroll, and it is in the Dota abilities custom thing. So our teleport scroll is now being modified, right? Now we can actually just remove all parts of this that are needed, but because we are lazy and we don't take care to like maintain these, and a lot of these modes are just throwaway, I recommend you just copy paste that shit in there and just leave it. If you want to properly maintain your mode, it's better to only import the things that you actually plan on changing, because then it's gonna be updated automatically when Dota updates things. If you leave everything in here, you need to manually update everything again afterwards. But since we don't plan on doing that, that's fine with us. So we have our TP scroll in here, right? Let's make sure that all of our, yep, so this is all nice, this is all fine. So minimum distance, maximum distance. Well, we wanted the maximum distance to be pretty big, right? So we're gonna make it really, 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 really big. And then we are going to make our cooldown really low. Let's make it 10 seconds. Right now the cooldown is 10 seconds. And let's go ahead and make the item cost maybe even a little bit lower, just so they are more affordable, right? Cool. This is all you have to do. And it's done, right? It's just taken care of. Now, if we go back into Hammer, right? We can go back into Hammer, right? Again, we click the Run Game button, and then we go down here and we click Run, Skip Build, right? You click this. Then it's going to load up our match, right? It's going to load up our game. We just started. I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit more visible as well. We lock Control Warlord. It doesn't really matter. Cool. We are in a match. And you can see our Town Portal scrolls now have a 10-second cooldown. The cooldown at the very beginning is still a little bit longer, but that's fine. Right, they have a 10-second cooldown. They only cost 25 gold. And once they are ready, we can teleport pretty much anywhere on the map. And that's how easy it is. right? Like, it's just that simple. You just import the part that you want to change into this overwrite file. And at that point, you're already done, right? So now I can... Oh, it seems that was a little bit too far. How far can I teleport? Yeah. Why did it work up there? Okay, it seems like Dota is freaking out over this right now. Well, we know that it worked just a second ago. Ah, it seems that if you need... You have to cast it from towers. That is weird. I didn't know that. So it turns out that with shrines, it doesn't work. If you use a shrine as the access point, it will always teleport you exactly to the shrine. But if you use a tower, then you can teleport further away. That is really, really weird. I did not know it worked like that. Okay, so that is actually going to complicate things a little bit while playing the game. But that isn't an error that we made while building the game. That is just Dota being really, really weird. And I'm sure you have heard me say before that Dota is just odd if it comes to how it behaves. Like, if you break it even just a little bit. And this is actually a prime example where it just kind of behaves really oddly for how the teleport works. Like, it turns out that teleport to a tower and to a shrine is actually different. So I'm sure we could figure out how to fix this, but I'm not gonna do that right now, mostly because that would just take a little while longer. Let me go ahead and show you a custom game that I had made. So I had made what is it called? Was it just called Dota to Bot Test? I think actually that's what I had called it, yeah. And we go in here and you can see in the NPC Heroes custom, this thing is just loaded. Like, there's so many heroes in here, right? Like, because what I did is I just imported the entire heroes thing. And then what I did is I looked for the movement speed part in here, right? So movement speed, it says movement speed right here. So I go in here and then I just change the movement speed to 550. I kind of sped that up a little bit by control Fing for movement speed. So I just kind of like, you know, like put in movement speed like this, and then I just like searched for movement speed, replace the number, search for movement speed, replace the number. And you can do the same thing for, you know, what do you want to replace? You can increase the attack range, you can increase the damage, you can increase the attack animation point, like anything you want really, you can just adjust in here. Although it is split up. Want to see something insane? Highlight movement speed and press Control plus D over and over. Oh god, is Chris going to show us how to make this quicker? Well, my method may not have been the fastest, so let's go ahead and highlight this. And then Control D. So now all of them are highlighted. And how does this help me? It will put a cursor on every line of the text and you can edit them all at once. How do I edit them all at once now? Do I say like 100 here? And now, are all of the movement speeds edited? No, it didn't work. Arrow keys and inputs, not mouse. Oh, okay. Alright, I'm like learning real time here. Alright, let's go ahead and just filter through everything really, really quick. So now I go in here. And I've edited this one. And it's the next one also. Hey, look at that. They are all up to date. Well, that is much faster than what I was doing. That is actually so much faster than what I was doing. So, cool. Again, I'm not really an expert with this stuff, but what I'm trying to show you is exactly that you don't need to be an expert to do this. You just gotta use some time, right? This, what we just did here, works really well for this particular instance, right? Like for other things, it might not be as simple, right? Like if you're not just trying to change every value to the same value, then this doesn't quite apply. But yeah, if you want to change abilities, you import the abilities into the abilities file, right? So abilities custom. If you want to change items, you import it here. And if you want to change units, you import it there. And that's it. That's how it works. So from here, there's only one thing left to do, which is upload the thing to the workshop. How do we do that? It's very simple. We go to the asset browser. Then there's this button right here, which says the Workshop Manager. So we click the Workshop Manager. The Workshop Manager is then going to open up this little thing, which has now made all of the other stuff disappear. I guess it wanted to be in the foreground, right? And then we say, okay, cool, we want to go ahead and create a new one. It's Dota 2, but TPs are global. And then we can just give it a description, like whatever, and we got to add in a picture really quick. So let's see if we have a picture. I don't know. Let me just go ahead and use something. There we go. That is about as good as anything, right? And then we make it public and we submit it. Now it's submitting to Workshop, and then it's done. That's it. That's the entire process. Now it's again, it's really just about data entry, right? There it is. Dota but TPs are global, right? It's now playable. It's on the Workshop. It's just good to go. But yeah, like it's really just a process of data entry, and it's not difficult. Anybody can do it. So if you want to make a particular Dota 2 bot mode and you think you have a fun idea and you want me to play it, then just go ahead and make it. You now know how. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys around.